Hi, everybody. First of all, thank you so much for your kind patience. I actually had originally planned something different, but I decided to go for something very simple because otherwise it would have been another week without any new material here in our community. So, once again, thank you for your kind patience. So, today we're going to do something very simple, very straightforward. If you feel that your drawing skills aren't strong for whatever reason, I want to show you how something as simple as a doodle-like shape can become compositions that are complete, dynamic, dramatic, and visually appealing. So this applies regardless of your chosen subject or theme. Once you've discovered your own style, or at least the direction you want to follow, it becomes easy to apply it to anything you create. It becomes your signature. It will show through no matter what you paint, portraits, landscapes, or something entirely different. The way you see, the colors you choose, the way you shape forms, all these naturally will come through, okay? The beauty of developing a style is that it doesn't confine you to one theme or subject. Once your style becomes part of your process, it connects to all your work, making it recognizable, unique, and above all, truly yours. So, even if you try something new, your style will guide how you approach it and also will guide your audience to understand your composition because they will have an understanding of you, of how you work, of how you process things, of how you see the world around you. Okay? And that's what I want to show you today. How you can take the same style and apply it across different subjects. So you'll see that it is less about what you paint and more about how and why you paint. Your style is the thread that ties everything together. So today we'll use this very simple, it's almost like a doodle style to illustrate exactly that. If you sometimes feel your drawing remains too simple, there will come a moment when you'll realize that maybe, just maybe, that is your signature. And rather than fight it, maybe you should learn to use it as your tool. So, if you want your simple drawing to have more expression, more identity, more style, the best thing you can do is to embrace that simplicity, embrace its imperfection, embrace the lack of compromise. Because once you say, you know what, this is how I draw, this is how I paint, this is me, this is how I express myself, this is how I want people to see me. So once you get to that point, then it all becomes your signature and everything else will just follow. The key is to be comfortable with your own way of working. And once again, I'm not saying that what I'm showing today has got to become your style. What I'm saying is that you have got to be comfortable sometimes with what you can take from yourself, okay? What you can expect from yourself. Once you discover that that maybe is your own style, it will carry through everything you do. So whatever your style may be, just try to be comfortable with it. Once again, I'm not saying that you cannot grow, that you cannot improve, that you cannot move on to another subject, but you should be comfortable. I know it's a constant fight, it's a constant struggle because if you have that artistic voice inside you, you know that you are never going to be satisfied, at least fully satisfied. You're always going to be in doubt. You are always going to be looking for something. You're always going to be trying to find ways to express yourself. And there comes a time when you have got to just sit, relax, and enjoy the view. Okay? So, once again, I'm using acrylic paint because it is simple and it is convenient. I'm going to be painting 4 compositions today, and in all of them, I'm going to be using the same structure, the same colors, the same paper, the same tools, everything across all the compositions. That way, we can see how style reveals itself, even when the subject matter changes. As you can see, even though the subject is different, it's clearly created in the same style. The colors may vary, but the overall composition follows the same principles. Now let's try something different again. I'll paint 2 oranges with some leaves, something very simple. I am using the same technique, staining the background and sketching the composition with the basic colors already. Then I'll add just enough color to build rhythm and balance, and notice how free the strokes are, and yet they still convey the energy, the harmony in the composition. Originally, I had planned for today's sessions to be all about still lifes, but because I wasn't able to work for a few days, I fell behind and didn't have the time to prepare something a little bit more structured. Here, I'm adding oil pastels, and I am smudging them with a kitchen paper. And once I'm satisfied, I call it finished, and that's it. It's absolutely simple, and there is absolutely nothing complicated about it. And again, this doesn't need to be your style. I'm using this particular method just to demonstrate what I mean. And finally, our last piece for today will be another portrait, this time a woman. So I am approaching it slightly different here, just marking some sketch lines. You see that precision here isn't important. Not chaotic, but it is definitely carefree. So what matters is the color, is the volume, is the texture, and above all, keeping the same style we've used throughout, okay? So I'm spreading the background color with a sponge and at the same time marking the outlines. In fact, I regret that I didn't do all 4 pieces like this one, because even though the technique is the same, this one feels a little bit more raw. And I think that the lack of color actually makes it more striking. For variation, I'm painting the dress in a petroleum blue, which, by the way, is the same color I'm using for the edges. And again, this is almost like a doodle. There is no concern for precision or for strict rules of proportions, light or shadow. It is basically a colorful doodle, okay? And before you know it, the composition is finished. So these are the results of what we've done today. I hope you've learned something new today. And I don't often say never, but I believe that this may be the last time we are experimenting with different styles. From our next exercise onwards, I'd like us to focus on one particular style so that all our compositions will feel part of a series. Thank you so very much once again for your kind patience. And as always, keep on practicing and thank you for joining us.